All right, welcome everybody. I'm actually gonna jump on it and I was going to be working on December's readings, and I thought, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and do a full moon reading for the 19th. Since we are so close, I want to be able to have something to get out to you all so you can see it. If you are interested in knowing more by your individual sign, I did put out readings by sign for this full moon in Taurus and the lunar eclipse. So check that out if you get a moment. I know some people have already checked that out. And I'm working on currently the December videos. So those will be coming. All right. So because we are going to be dealing with the full moon and the lunar eclipse, I pulled, well, I didn't say I pulled, I picked up my Moonology deck, and the bottom two cards on there were, I kid you not, full moon in Taurus, your dreams need a practical plan, and full moon eclipse, which is conclusions are within reach. So I consider that two really good signs for this. Now, I've talked a lot about the Taurus energy in this. There is some Scorpio also in there. We are still dealing with leftover Scorpio energy, which is sort of the more cynical side, to put that a little easier. So there is that. We are going into this whole, well, we're going into an eclipse season again, or part of it. And the changes that are happening now will continue to change. Most of them will happen. We're going to Venus. Is it Venus that's going retrograde? The things that are happening now will have impact through the end of March. I would suggest that if you have an interest in astrology or learning more about it, go and check out Cam White. He has a channel that is absolutely fantastic. And it's a little intimidating at first. He is very knowledgeable, but he's very direct. And so I think that that makes a difference. The other part is he puts up the chart so you can see as the planets are moving, you get a sense for what it is that's affecting us. So I would suggest checking out Cam White. I'll try and link his channel down below. It's C-A-M, and the last name is W-H-I-T. So check that out. He has done some fantastic readings. So, all right. So we are going to be looking at the full moon energy on the 19th. And this is definitely in Taurus. We're going from Scorpio to Sagittarius too. So that means we're going from almost from calculated to what's the word I'm looking for? We're moving into Sagittarius, which can be, they love a thrill, they like the adventure. They're not always the best at pre-planning things out. So if you can drag some of that Scorpio energy that we've had into the Sagittarius, you know, spend those last few days of it planning. So then when you get to the Sagittarius energy, you will have a much easier time. You'll have something to go by. You'll be much more, you'll be halfway there because you'll have a plan. All right. So let's go ahead and, what do we want to do here? Let's try the Shamans Oracle. What do we need to know for the full moon on the 19th? All signs. Spirit, what do we need to know? What do we need to know? All signs moving forward for the full moon and the eclipse on the 19th. What do we need to know? What is the overall energy going into it? Let's do it that. A little too vague before. So what is the energy going into the full moon? What are we bringing into this full moon that perhaps we need to be aware of? Way too many cards. A few extras. Well, let me put them back in because I'm not going to try and decipher that many at once. All right, what do we need to know? Full moon. What is the general energy going into the full moon and the lunar eclipse on the 19th for all signs? What do we need to know? Dream thief, refusal of a call. That's interesting. Maybe you've been holding back on something. Bottom of the deck, we have revelation. And we have will-o'-the-wisp. This is definitely, there's some sort of this revelation coming that is going to, whether it's spiritual, I tend to think it's more about all of a sudden you're going to have this sort of realization about something that, about yourself. And I'm not saying it's bad, it's not going to be that, but there's going to be this understanding that is coming to you. And you're going to be able to see things a little sharper than you have in the past, whether it's, you know, oh yeah, I do that because of this, or, okay, that's something I need to let go of, or maybe this is something that I have to work on since this keeps coming up. Those are the type of things. And you know, some of it can be refusal to call on old triggers. Letting go of those things, or not reacting to those things that are a trigger for you. So you go to dinner with family. Somebody says something about you that, you know, you might find hurtful. They maybe think is funny. Normally you would rise to the occasion and get upset, but you let it go. You have to remember in situations like this that what they're saying is more about themselves than about them. And if there are other people around, they're going to recognize that in energy. You know, unfortunately, all families have these dynamics. There are things about them that, you know, no one, I don't know of a perfect family yet, you know. So definitely that is something to look at. And, you know, we're talking about will-o'-the-wisp is the treasures hidden in the shadows. So by not succumbing to these energies that could be hurtful, and looking at where they come from, you are taking back your own power. And that's sort of you're taking the power back from those things that have hurt you in the past. So yeah, definitely that's one way to look at that. That's going into the energy going into it. And there is sort of I see a sort of Scorpio energy. Part of the new moon was in Scorpio, and it's sort of like I've been describing it as, you know, having a wound and somebody sticking a finger in it. You know, it's that pushing your buttons to see what your reaction will be. Don't give them that power. When you react to that, you give them your power. So don't do that. All right. What is going to be, how do I put this? What is going to be the message of the full moon. What is this message of full moon in Taurus? Resourcefulness. Definitely. Definitely. You have it all within you. It's just a matter of using it. Teachability. And compassion. Sort of what we were talking about, isn't it? Resourcefulness. We're going into a holiday season where a lot of people are going to be without, including ourselves. And one of the things that I encourage people to do is to give back, to uplift others. And I think that part of that comes from, I don't have a lot of money. I'm working 2 jobs. Not making a lot of money. 2 part-time jobs. But there are things that I can do. I can bake cookies. I can check on a neighbor who I haven't seen for a while. And it takes compassion. Have compassion for other people. It's that 5 minutes that you spend talking to someone in the grocery store that hasn't had anybody to talk to. That to them is a big deal. Kindness comes in all forms. So remember that. And this Taurus energy will ask you to be more grounded. It will ask you to be... It's not a bad energy to have going into the holidays, because it's asking you to look at what you value. Do you value spending tons of money on gifts, or do you value time spent with family? Do you value, being with people who don't want you there? Or do you value going out, seeing Christmas lights, sitting down, watching a Christmas movie? I personally have been binge watching the Holiday Baking Challenge on the Discovery Plus, which, hello, I don't cook. Not well, at least. So yeah. All right. So we're going to take one last look and look at the final outcome for this full moon. I think that there's been, a lot of people have been talking about this is a pretty strong full moon. I think because in many ways it's asking you to evaluate some of the pieces of your life. So it's asking you, is that what you really want? And, you have to look at gut reactions. If it is, if it's something that you can easily say yes to, that's fine. That's something you enjoy, something you want. Don't let others sit and judge of you. All right, so the final outcome for the full moon. What do we need to know going forward? Full moon in Taurus. What are those last parting shots that we need to know? All right, what do we need to know? What will be our outcome from this? It does feel very I was a little terrified because I was listening to all these people talk about it. But you know what? It feels good. It feels grounded. It feels calm. All right. So last cards for this. What do we need to know? What is going to be the outcome? Final outcome. Full moon. No one, also, I have my glasses on top of my head. I can't see the deck. I can't see what's there. My goodness, I have dropped more cards today. All right. Power of community, gathering around. Is this what you value? A bold step forward. Stepping away from those things that don't serve you anymore. And winter's dream. So we're talking about this sort of, there is sort of a winter's dream, a gestation period, so to speak. As I said, a lot of what you're putting into practice now is going to see its way through until probably about the end of March, if with the way things are going. So definitely wintertime is a time of sort of sitting back and introspectively looking at what is going on with your life and looking at what changes you might want to make. New Year, we talked about New Year and all of the goals. Don't wait for New Year to set those new goals, by the way. All right, so I hope that works out for you today. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Please keep in mind, take what you need and throw away what you don't. If it doesn't serve you, it doesn't serve you. But as you're going into these holidays, be sure that you're valuing the right things. That, you know, if value the love and not the sarcasm. Does that make sense? All right. I hope that you are all well. I'm sending lots of love. Stay safe, stay healthy. Sending blessings from Maine. Bye-bye.